KFUG Community Radio. Hey, good morning to you. It is 11 minutes past 10 o'clock. Paul Chris with you. And Community Service, the show, till noon. Coming up at that time, we've got KFUG Community News. And we are joined live in the studio. Lauren Godla is here. And I'm not sure how to introduce... artist, dancer, performer? What's your tagline goes along with Lauren Godla these days?
Performing artist and director. Yeah.
Yeah. See, it's always and more and more and park ranger and and river enthusiast. So we're here talking about Dirt and Glitter. Dirt and Glitter, of course. Wow. When was that first show from the bridge? How long has it been since?
That was in February.
Wow. Was that in February? Wow. Okay. We went up. Redwood Voice went up and covered. It was Lauren, and that was your first. Dirt and Glitter's first performance?
Yep.
Now, the other dancer up there hanging from the bridge, that was Madeline or Madeline?
Yep, Madeline.
Madeline Louder, who's up there and is also doing all of this along with you.
Yep.
You have something even... I thought hanging from a bridge and doing dance in like 3D space like that was big enough, but you've got something even bigger planned artistically this weekend. Can you talk about what's happening up on the river?
Sure. So this Saturday and Sunday, August 13th and 14th, starting at 3:30 from Second Beach under the bridge that is, I think, formerly called George E. Tryon Bridge, but is actually locally known as Second Bridge. So starting from that beach, the show is going to happen, and the audience is going to paddle up the South Fork Smith, which is a really beautiful, calm stretch of the river. And there's going to be dance and music and comedy happening from along the different nooks and crannies of the river that people are going to watch from their boat. So the first performance people will see will be a classical duet. It's going to be a cello and clarinet player. And then the next performance will be a comedy song. And then the next one will be a dance. And then after that, there'll be a jazz vocalist playing an original work. And then after that, there'll be another comedy set. And then a folksy musical duet. And then it will end with Madeline and I doing that dance that we did in February off the side of the bridge.
Wow. So again, back at the hanging from the bridge or someplace else?
Yeah, we'll be doing that vertical dance off the side of Second Bridge in our climbing harnesses.
Wow. Wow. How many performers are you talking about?
So there's going to be, let's see. I think there's eight women.
Wow. Okay, that's fantastic. Are they all women?
Yeah, all female performers.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's comedy-wise, what's a tight five by the Smiths sound like? I'm trying to imagine with that, like the brick wall back behind.
So the two comedians that are coming, one of them's name is Iris Benson, and she's like a Bay Area comedian and hosts and performs a lot of shows down there. She's described, I think, as pleasantly dark.
Okay, cool.
She performed for a show I directed in years ago called Breathing Bridges, which was a real similar concept that happened on a different part of the river. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm definitely not going to be micromanaging or censoring any of these performers because they're professionals in their field and they're going to deliver whatever they deliver. I'm not exactly sure.
That's why
it'll be a surprise to me to hear their sets too.
So so you do not know what they're planning on doing?
I know the dance that Madeline and I are doing, and I know the dance that Nicole and I are doing, and I've heard bits and pieces of the original music that's happening. But I don't exactly know what the comedy sets will be.
That's kind of exciting. Are you going to be able to enjoy that the day of and to see, or you're going to be busy getting ready for your part of it,
well,
right?
I really want to see what all the performers are doing. So I'm going to make sure on the dress rehearsal that I can see it. But then the day of, I'll be busy, doing other stuff. Okay,
so let's jump back. I want to get into more details about the show. It's incredibly interesting to me, but talk to me more about just Dirt and Glitter, where this came from.
Well, the name came from, I'm in this online women's and comedy group called Gold Comedy, with women from all over the country and beyond, that I joined during COVID as a way to stay in a creative process with others. And I think the question was like, how would you describe your life in a title or something? And I think I was like, Dirt and Glitter. And then I was like, oh, that should be the name of the performing arts company you're going to direct.
Even before the company, you had the name first.
Yeah.
That's great.
But I mean, I've been thinking this concept of doing site-specific work in particular on rivers, I've been dreaming about for a long time.
I mean, that had to have been because you grew up here, right? Is that
Definitely. I'm really inspired by rivers in general, and I am a kayaker and boater and love to move through space on a boat and experience things that way, but also in particular this river because it's so special. I mean, celebrated by the people that know it, but I just feel like it's a living gem.
Yeah. After you got out, I'm curious where you got into this. I know you've like, as long as I've known you and your family taking pictures at the Fotique and all of that, I mean, you've been a dancer. But did you go away to college?
I did.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to UC Davis.
Okay.
And I studied exercise biology and dance.
Okay. All right.
And I had some really great inspired professors, but also some really amazing mentors that were grad students there in the arts that were dancers. One of them, Yui Chua, is now teaching choreography at UC Berkeley. But she really inspired me to think about dance in a bigger way and art in a bigger way and performance in a bigger way. And to be able, to really express and move through ideas and concepts through art, and to be more willing to take risks and try new things and not be so worried about the end product. She was super process oriented.
Wow. Okay. Like it's the journey. It's not the destination.
Yeah. And just, I think, really saw me as an artist and as a choreographer, and was like, keep going, keep doing this, you know. And
that's good to hear. That's good to hear, especially at that point in your life too, getting that kind of support.
Yeah, because I mean, we're all usually pretty young when we go to college.
Yeah,
so.
right.
But they were my I mean, I took tons of like other science classes too, but those were with like 400 people and a professor that was like the size of a thumbtack, you know. And so my dance classes, like, I knew my professors. There was 13 of us. We were moving together, and those classes I looked forward to, and they were really impactful. And I was engaged in like an actual physical problem solving, like, exercise of making dance. And so I went to UC Davis and graduated in 2012. And
oh my God, has it been that long? Oh wow.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm getting old.
You're getting old.
Yeah,
I'm way ahead of you. What about the idea of like environmental performance, being out and about? I mean, I know we've talked about these two things just in your experience here, but did that ever consciously coalesce? Was this something that occurred to you at some point? This is what I want to do. I want to dance, but not just on stage or in a studio or someplace like that, but out.
Yes, because my favorite things are to be outside and to dance. And my only complaint about like being in long rehearsal processes was always like, ugh, it's beautiful outside. I don't want to be in this like box rehearsing. Exactly. And I want to be making art where I draw inspiration from, and that's always outside.
So, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah. So that's how, and I definitely have been inspired by other directors and choreographers that do site-specific work.
It's In Our Veins. Is that the name of this?
In Our Veins.
What's that mean?
So I'm thinking about that as, I think I view the human.
And I'm sorry, we just kind of said that between this performance this weekend that we've been talking about is entitled In Our Veins. So it wasn't just a phrase I threw out. It just recurred to me we didn't say where that came from. So.
Yeah, so the title In Our Veins comes from this idea of the body being a living part of the earth and the earth being a living body. So I'm conceptualizing the river as one of the earth's veins that we're going to be within during the show. And thinking about, so I'm thinking about rivers as the earth's veins. I feel like really, how do I say this? It brings to mind like just treating the whole planet as like this living organisms and placing ourselves within it as a part of that living organism, and thinking of our own bodies and our own vascular system, and how are these things connected, our own vascular system and the earth's. And you think about our body, when we have like a blood clot or something, we get sick, and when rivers get dammed up and blocked up, they get sick, and this river is free. And so that's one of the main reasons that it's so special, and why I want to celebrate it.
What about the fact that all the artists up here are all women? Was that a conscious decision, or is this the part of the group that you work in?
So both. When I did this in 2016, it was a very conscious decision. Like, I want to work with all women. I feel like my work really aims to celebrate both water and women as sources of life. And now, I mean, I feel like in general in our society, femininity is really, I don't know if undervalued, but sort of, I think we all embody feminine characteristics, whether we're men or women. And I think those more feminine characteristics of like being vulnerable and honest and nurturing are things that we have to hold closer to ourselves, that aren't as safe in the world. And so I'm wanting my work to celebrate and elevate like just the feminine, like overall. So I mean, I think often women have an easier time embodying that because it's more accepted, maybe. I don't know, not always, but I think so. I find that I, as an artist, am interested in work that is vulnerable, and I find it, as a human being, I'm usually feel safer to be vulnerable with other women. And so often my collaborators and dance partners are women, not always, but I feel like that's where the like juiciest, most kind of vulnerable, authentic work usually comes for me.
Sure.
I am open to working with men too, and if it like was to happen, I wouldn't like say no, you're not a woman, but that's kind of where I'm at, just trying to elevate the feminine.
No, I get you. All right, let's go back to specifics then. Nuts and bolts this weekend. People want to be involved. They want to come see what's happening with In Our Veins, Dirt and Glitter. Times, how, I know I've read a lot of the posts, and it's in our community calendar today on the news, that there's very limited space, both on the river, in the crafts, as well as along the river, parking your car. So what should happen this weekend? You're advising anybody interested in being part of the audience, and you can show up without a ticket or a reservation or anything,
Correct.
Like that, right? You can just show up. But
yeah.
So where would people go and park and get access?
So if you want to come to the show and you do not have your own boat, you will need a boat to be able to see the show. You could see the last performance without a boat from Second Beach, but that's the only part you'd be able to see without a boat. So if you need a boat, go to our website, www.dirtandglitter.org, and from there it'll take you to some places where you can either rent a kayak or book a seat on a raft. If you rent your own kayak, you're going to have to carry your boat down. So you need to arrive at the Forks boat ramp around 2:45-3 to have time to pick up your kayak and get it down to Second Beach so that you're ready to paddle upstream at 3:30. If you have your own boat, which a lot of people in this community do, you're welcome to just come. Same goes for you. I'd arrive around 2:45-3 at the Forks boat ramp. Parking's probably going to be somewhat tight.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm advising people to get there early. So if that parking lot is full, they can go to some of the other little parking lots nearby. You can also double park if you arrive with friends and you're going to be leaving at the same time. But anyways, arrive at the Forks boat ramp 2:45-3 so that you can get yourselves and your boat down to Second Beach to be ready to paddle at 3:30.
Okay.
Saturday and Sunday.
And the Forks boat ramp is the one that's in between when you go over the first bridge and you get down there, so you'll have to go back up or back down?
So, okay,
Which way are we going?
So if you're coming from Crescent City, you'll take a right off of the 199
I meant
over Slant Bridge.
in the river.
Oh, okay. So you're going to, okay, so once you park at Forks Boat Ramp, there's those little pit toilets. You're
Right.
going to take the left path down to Second Beach, not the right one. That would take you to the bluffs.
Right.
So you'll take a left down to Second Beach, and then you're going to take a left, paddle upstream up the South Fork.
Gotcha. Paddling up. Okay, now I see where we are.
You'll go under Second Bridge, and there's going to be guides there directing people.
Yeah, that was more for me just in my head, like what's happening.
Yeah, no, conceptualizing. It's a lot. It's a very nuanced project, but I think it's going to be really worth it. That part of the river is incredibly beautiful and very calm, so I'm not worried about people's safety. I think the worst thing that would happen is people get wet.
So I can't. Why isn't this all right? Now, I guess I'm struck by just the where this will be happening, the scope of what you have put together, and why isn't this? I know it's being filmed. You've hired somebody to film it and make a video. Why isn't this being streamed all over everywhere? This seems like this is like Pink Floyd live at Pompeii. This is a beautiful environmental idea. I don't know.
This is a good question. I think because primarily it's just me and Madeline Lauder producing this event.
Okay.
We're two people, and we're also dancing and choreographing and directing. So we are a startup performing arts nonprofit with no funding. And we have a lot of friends and family kind of supporting us, but no, managerial, administrative support. So I think if we did have that, I think this would be a lot more widely shared. And people have been asking me, are you going to stream this? Are you going to do that? And it's like, I'd love to do all of that, but
there's just the two of you.
Just the two of us right now.
And you're
running the show.
And worldwide promotion is down on the list after, yeah.
We just want to we're hoping we can break even. We're not expecting for ourselves to make any money, but we want to be able to pay the artists that are coming. It won't even, what we want to pay them probably won't even cover their travel here, but we want to,
nice.
They're professional artists. We want to be able to give them something. We want to be able to pay the artists and the guides. And
how far afield are artists coming from? You said one of the posts like all over.
The furthest is Vancouver, Canada.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
This is incredible. So showing up at, now I know that there was also mention of Haiuchi Community Fellowship showing up at the church there in Haiuchi too?
Yes. So the people who, if you go onto our website, dirtandglitter.org, and you decide you want to either book a seat on a raft so you don't have to deal with schlepping your boat and you just go walk down to the beach and hop on a raft, those people will meet at the Haiuchi Community Fellowship and get shuttled to the Forks, so they also don't have to deal with parking. And then they don't, if you don't feel like you can carry a boat down or you just don't want to, that's an option. That's the way you could see it.
And Haiuchi Community Fellowship, for those of you who don't know, I forget the number, it's Sunkist, whatever, Road, Avenue, Boulevard, whatever it is in Haiuchi, right at the end as you go through Haiuchi, right before the turn, and you see the river for the first time. In fact, I think years ago, that building used to be a place where you could rent kayaks. And now it's a church.
I think it
Steve
was.
Perez, yeah, right?
Yeah.
I just remember that a long time ago, but it's just right there, Sunkist Lane, and you can get on the boat there. Prices. What I've seen online is for a seat on the boat, and this is for a full experience up the river, an hour, 2 hours on the river, watching all of this, it's $120. I saw that number and I blanched. And then I remembered what you would be getting for $120. First off, you don't have to carry your own boat down to the river. And you can just sit here. It's Redwood Rides who are organizing these, right?
Yep.
And so I'm like, okay, that kind of sounds like money well spent. So I'm going to sit here and let, let Josh Goodman paddle me up the river a little bit. I'd be happy with that.
And let Josh Goodman get your boat ready and and deal with pulling it down and bringing it back up.
Yeah.
And it is. I think for a show that seems like a lot, but it's really it's like a combination of a guided river tour and a show. And they were $120, but the prices have gone up because we were trying to encourage people to get them early.
Oh, okay. So there was a deadline.
But there's also people can rent a single or a tandem kayak, and I
Right.
think the single kayak is $80 and the tandem's $120.
Okay, so how much are the seats in the boat then now?
It's $135 for a child and $150 for an adult.
Okay, that's still for what you're getting. This is incredible. Or if you just bring your own kayak, your own boat, and go in on your own, you are asking for a donation.
Yeah, we're asking we really want people to come. And so if you have your own boat, come, show up, and donate what you can
And again,
to the performance.
this is to support Dirt and Glitter and the performers, and I imagine Adam and Redwood Rides and whatever sort of compensation. But just nobody's like sitting back and rolling in money at the end of the day here. They're
No.
trying to pay for everything. And in some cases, as you pointed out with the artists who've come from very far afield, it's even just kind of a token sort of thank you. and
Exactly.
give me
It's a stipend.
Yeah,
It's not
exact- yeah.
even like a wage.
So, both days, Saturday and Sunday.
Both days, Saturday, Sunday, August 13th, August 14th,
Mm-hmm.
starting at 3:30. The boats will be heading upstream from Second Beach under Second Bridge, and the show will be within the South Fork Canyon.
That's incredible. That is
Yeah.
wild. And is there anything that you want to make sure gets said that I didn't ask?
I guess just I'm really grateful to my dance partner and co-producer.
Talk about Madeline. Yes,
Madeline
please.
Lauder. She and I met dancing for a company in the Bay Area that dances in climbing harnesses off the side of buildings primarily.
Oh my God.
And we got to train together and work together a lot. And she's it's been amazing. She's from New York. She lives in the Bay Area. She came up here all summer she guided to make some money and
Oh, wow.
and get to know the river and the community, and also has been putting so much time and energy and love and effort into helping make this show happen. So super grateful to her and to Adam, my partner and also co-owner of Redwood Rides, for volunteering a lot of time and energy and resources to make this show happen as well. And
Wonderful.
to all of the artists that are coming. And to my parents who are going to house some of the artists while they're here.
Oh, good. That's not.
Yeah.
And to Joey, who's going
And
to be
to
guiding.
Joe, who really was the first person I shared this whole river performance concept with, who was like, yes, you
Really?
have to
Seriously?
make that happen. Yeah.
Oh, right on. And I'm sorry, I knew him as Joey. Is he Joe now?
Joe.
Joe.
Joe or Joseph.
Okay, good. I appreciate that and respect that. Lauren, thank you very much for coming in. I'm looking forward. We want to come up and get some footage on the dress rehearsal day, and then we'll be there for, I don't know if we need to like talk to you about whether it's Saturday or Sunday we'll be coming to. I don't know if that's a thing we should discuss, but we'll discuss that afterwards off. But Redwood Voice will be there, and hopefully we'll have time. Maybe again, your guidance is key, but during dress or something, just to kind of pull you and or Madeline out and just get some interviews with some of the
Yeah,
people
that'd be
involved.
great. Yeah, it's going to be a really magical show. I'm really grateful to be in the position I am, to be able to pull this all together and to get to live in such an incredibly beautiful place.
And to do art like that right here, that's wonderful. That's really cool. Lauren Godla, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Dirt and Glitter, check them out. It's dirtandglitter.com.
dirtandglitter.org.
.org. Dirt and Glitter, because they're a nonprofit struggling. Struggling. I know how nonprofits struggle.
We're
so.
not an official nonprofit. We're working on it.
You're working. You got the .org. That's the first thing, is get the .org. All right, Lauren, thank you very much. Dirt and Glitter, big stuff happening out on the banks of the Smith River today, or this weekend. Really looking forward to this. And get involved. Get out there. Get your kayak. Get yourself a seat on a boat, and experience something that honestly, I don't know anything even remotely like it that I've ever experienced, because it is right here on the Smith, and it's all kinds of art happening up there. It's beautiful. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you.
KFUG. Stick it in your ear.